is here to share the rest of her story.
Also with us is 22-year-old Lindsay Trico. She is recovering from being an Ambien addict. Excuse me. Thanks for being here today.
Lynn, how did you ever know, though, that you were an addict? When did that idea get into your head?
I think when you're craving sleep so much and you can't go to sleep without the Ambien, you realize, you know, there's something seriously wrong with me.
But the surgery was a wake-up call, wasn't it?
It absolutely
Okay, you
was.
had to have surgery, so you had to get off this Ambien. What happened to you?
It was like 2 weeks of nightmares. I mean, you can't sleep. You don't know if you're asleep. It's tossing. You're turning. The daytime, you feel like you're walking around in a fog.
One of the things I thought was very interesting that you said with our producers was that you were saying you got to the point where it would be 4 o'clock in the afternoon and you're like, you gotta take the Ambien. We used to do a morning, very, very early morning show together, and I remember taking Ambien and thinking, hey, well, let's go to sleep. Might as well get to wait, have a nice night's sleep.
My whole day was scheduled around when I was going to get to finally take that Ambien and turn the day off.
Do you think you were addicted to having a great night's sleep, or you really think you were addicted to actually having
I was addicted to the great night's sleep. I know that. There's no doubt in my mind.
Any weird behavior? Like,
oh, calling friends in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock in the morning and asking them what their phone number is, I think that's pretty weird.
Did you ever drive? I hear people on Ambien drive. They don't even know it.
The next day when I would take the kids to school, I would be in car line and I had dropped them off, but I would just be sitting there going to sleep.
You're off of it now? You went cold turkey because of the surgery?
Yes, completely.
So how are you getting to sleep now?
Just trying my best to not get anxious about the fact that I'm not going to sleep. I have Ativan that I will take if I start feeling anxious.
Help you out a little bit.
Yeah, but I only take it maybe once or twice a week.
Okay.
So, Lindsay, you were having a hard time sleeping.
Yes.
And you decided you were going to start taking Ambien.
Yes.
Little crazy things started to happen, like, let's say, a conversation with your dad. What was that conversation about?
Well, let's just say I went into his bedroom and said, Dad, let's talk about sex.
What?
And you have no recollection of this?
No, and I had an hour-long conversation with him about my sex life. Oh my God. And
Interesting, he let it go on an hour. But you don't remember anything. What about your boyfriend? He knew you were on Ambien. The man
yes,
you're
he
having
did.
a sex life with.
Yes. And yes, I got into my car and I drove an Ambien and yes.
And you don't remember this, do you?
No, it's literally like you're in a dream world.
You drove all the way over to your boyfriend's house?
Yes.
And didn't know it?
No.
What happened when you got there?
I had sex with him and
You remember that?
No, I woke up in the morning.
Mike, you familiar?
I've had people say that to me. No, put people to sleep.
I woke up in the morning and I was like, did that really happen? And I had to call him and he told me.
But here's the thing. You start a new job, you can't sleep, kind of stressed out a little bit, so you start taking the Ambien. Within how short a time do you think you got hooked on it?
Within about 3 weeks.
That fast?
It literally, it does happen that fast.
I was going to say, Dr. King, this is, I mean, I hear stories over and over again, and, you know, there are a few of my own that I can tell you. I mean, people talking about, you know, going and having these massive meals. When I took it, I saw fairies sprinkling around my ceiling. It's a serious drug. This is not something that you just play around with and pop every night because you can't get a good night's sleep.
No, absolutely, and people don't realize that. It's a sedative, it's a narcotic, it's significantly addictive. I've worked with people who've become addicted in fewer than 5 days. It easily can be done in fewer than 10.
Why does it make some people, I guess, hallucinate and some people it doesn't? Yeah. Some people can handle it, some people can't.
Well, it's the same reason that some people can't handle alcohol, or if you've had any history of smoking, any kind of addictive behavior, or if you've ever been depressed, Ambien is not the drug for you.
But we are back talking about the prescription sleeping pill Ambien and just how addictive it can be.
Back with us are recovering Ambien addicts Lynn and Lindsay. We also have the author of Truth Heals, What You Hide Can Hurt You, health and wellness expert Dr. Deborah King is with us.
Sleep expert Dr. Carol Ash is here with some tips to get a good night's sleep without the medication. These are great tips because we want to get off this stuff. What's the first thing? Give us a good first tip.
Well, one tip that you could follow is making sure that you keep a consistent bedtime routine. And the first thing that you can do is, once you've picked that time to bed, take a hot shower or hot bath about an hour and a half before. The reason is the brain will transition into sleep on a temperature drop. Then once you are asleep, maintain a cool bedroom environment because the brain will prefer to stay in deeper sleep in a cooler bedroom
That's so
environment.
true.
Yeah.
That's so true. Also, what about light in the bedroom? I mean, my blinds are they're okay. A little sunlight leaks through. Is that all right?
Well, to help you fall asleep at night and stay asleep, you want to make sure that the room is dark. But in the morning, that's when you want to make sure the sunlight comes into the bedroom because the brain looks for that sunlight to know where it is in the 24-hour day. And when you open your eyes in the morning and expose yourself to sunlight, there's a clock in the brain that detects that light and says, aha, this is where I am, and will set rhythms to help you maintain
So when you get
awake
up in the middle of the night
and
to go to
sleep.
the bathroom,
Yes,
pop the blinds open.
that's exactly good.
Oh, so the
good
sun
tip.
will come in. Now, because we got to get up at about 6 in the morning, 5:36. You go to bed by the clock.
Yes.
Is that a bad idea?
Well, it's okay to go to bed by the clock to set a schedule so you can fit into societal norms and societal
Right.
routine. But then you want to turn the clock around and not watch it anymore. And even sometimes the light from that alarm clock can be upsetting.
But you know,
Yeah, that's true.
I've read your stuff, and you say you should go to bed when you're tired.
Yes. Well, think about it. If you're wide awake and you're laying in the bed trying to sleep, you're actually causing the reverse. You'll be increasing the anxiety. You'll start tossing and turning. So you should, as long as you're keeping a consistent routine, you should find that you'll fall asleep when you need to because the rhythms will be set. But if you're going to bed and you're tossing and turning, get out of the bed, go do something
Oh, I see.
relaxing.
Reading is good. Reading really
Yes.
boring material.
Yeah, but you know, if you start the day a little different, what's really wrong is we've disassociated ourselves from the natural world.
Sure.
You know, it's the freeways and the artificial lighting and the computers. So, you know, just a little bit of exercise every day and fresh air and some sunlight, which is a natural sleep aid. You know, get down to your shorts and get out there.
In our studio audience is the president of G&G Holistic Treatment Incorporated, the center where Lindsay is being treated. John Giordano is here. John, are you seeing a lot of Ambien addicts come to your clinic?
We're getting more and more Ambien addicts. We have about 8 right now in treatment, and we have about 20 of them that have taken Ambien. So as you can see, there's a tremendous increase in this. You know, because they say it's safe, but may be addicted. I always worry when people say maybe something.
But if you look at the material, I mean, I've taken it, and if you follow the directions, it shouldn't be harmful.
How many people you know really follow directions?
No one.
That's true. That's very true.
Is it up to the pharmacy to give you the warnings?
Well, you know, people get the warnings, but how many people really read warnings? And how many people are really have the propensity to be addicted? And doctors only get 1 hour of addiction training. So when they give this out to people, they don't know if they're giving it to addicts
Sure.
or not.
Another thing is a lot of people will take Ambien after they've been drinking or, you know,
Lindsay.
out on the town. Mike. Just kidding.
Yeah, well.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
And if you'd like some more information on getting a good night's sleep, you can go to our website, mjshow.com.
All right, coming up next, the dog.